Welcome to Mission SONlight from India and the Southern Asia Division.
This quarter, Mission SONlight has the privilege of crisscrossing this diverse land to bring you reports of renewal, long-suffering, and God's amazing grace.
The Southern Asia Division encompasses the countries of Bhutan, India, the Maldives, and Nepal. Travel the expanse of this territory and you will see mountains, hills, plains, and rivers. One of the most populated areas of the earth, more than 1.2 billion people inhabit these countries. The teeming cities of Calcutta, Mumbai, Kathmandu, and New Delhi are a stark contrast with the rural areas where agriculture is the mainstay and people live simply off the land. During this quarter, Mission SONlight will focus its attention on the country of India, which is designated to receive the 13th Sabbath offering. Officially known as the Republic of India, it is the 7th largest geographical country in the world and the 2nd most populous country worldwide. It is the Earth's largest democracy. The mainland of India is bordered by the Indian Ocean on the south, the Arabian Sea on the west, and the Bay of Bengal on the east. It shares its western border with Pakistan, its northern border with Bhutan, the People's Republic of China, and Nepal, and its eastern border with Bangladesh and Burma. The Indian subcontinent was home to the ancient Indus Valley civilization. It was also in this region that historic trade routes, including the Silk Road, and vast empires helped to create much of modern India's proud history. India is self-sufficient in food production, with principal crops being rice, wheat, and other cereals, pulses, cotton, and sugarcane. India obtained its independence in 1947, led by passive resistance adherent Mahatma Gandhi and Jawaharlal Nehru. Before this could happen, it had been ruled by Rajas, invaded by Alexander the Great, the Turks, and Mongols, and explored by Vasco da Gama. It became trading partners with Portugal and Holland and was colonized by the British Empire. Most of the citizens of the countries in the Southern Asia Division seek to appease the gods of the Hindu, Buddhist, and Muslim religions. Even in these modern times, Christians can face persecution and at times death for their beliefs in remote areas. The Hindu religion is the most predominant religion in India, with over 80% of the people being adherents to this faith. Seventh-day Adventists brought the good news of the second coming of Jesus to the region nearly 120 years ago.
The work began in India in 1893 with colporteurs, and the first missionaries came in 1895. In 1910, it was organized as the India Union, mostly British India, attached directly to the General Conference. In 1916, the India Union was attached to the Asiatic Division, which included China and the Philippines and the other countries around there.
The growth in the early 1900s was exponential.
But 1919, it was determined that this was too large a territory, and so it was divided into two divisions, the Far Eastern Division and the Southern Asia Division.
In such a large country, the cultures of people groups present unique opportunities for ministry.
This country should really have been many, many more countries. You will find it as diverse as almost an entire continent. You will find people in the northeast who are very similar to the Burmese and the other Mongolian countries. You will find people in the northwest very similar to Pakistan and Afghanistan. People in the north close to the Mongolians, and people in the south very similar to Sri Lankans.
The organizational structure for the Southern Asia Division has caused administrators to take into consideration the political climate within the region.
Of course, this was divided, and currently we have only 4 countries, and this was because of political challenges that made it difficult for leaders from our division to go to some of these countries, in particular Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka, and also because of visa difficulties for people from those countries to come to India.
The Southern Asia Division is one of the most rapidly growing regions within the Seventh-day Adventist Church.
We have at present about 1.499 million members, and we are one of the fastest growing divisions. And this is largely due to a lot of evangelistic effort, especially in the East Central India Union, which is one of the largest unions in the entire world.
Telling the story of Jesus in a meaningful way to various groups requires an understanding of culture, beliefs, and attitudes. The Southern Asia Division is discovering ways to reach groups that have previously gone unentered.
One of the initiatives that we are planning to begin is work for the Gypsies, the Roma. We have one government worker who is from that group who has been urging us to start our ministry for them. And we have just appointed some volunteers to begin working with them. And we hope that with support from this government official, that we will be able to reach out in a very special way to this group which has been largely neglected. We have had a few Adventists from this group, but we expect this to take off in a big way in the next couple of years.
Work among Hindus and Muslims continues, even though at times it is slow.
We do have a lot of work with Hindus. Traditionally, they have been very difficult to bring into the church, but in the last decade or so, we have found a lot of Hindus coming into the church. We've also been reaching out to the Muslims. Work among the other religions has not taken off as strongly, but that is something that we need to do. One of the most exciting things in the last couple of months has been an initiative by one of our volunteers in Nepal who is part Tibetan, and he has been able to access Tibet because of his Tibetan heritage, and we even have a few baptized Tibetans near the Nepal border. There are about 20 or 30 more ready for baptism, and we hope that this work also will grow rapidly.
With rapid growth comes the development of churches, schools, and institutions. There are about 5,000 organized churches and 5,000 companies, comprising a total of 10,000 worship groups meeting regularly on Sabbath and during the week. Education is a high priority, and this is seen in the establishment of over 370 schools, 7 colleges that offer undergraduate degrees, and 2 colleges with graduate-level degrees. Because education is a practical way to reach individuals with the good news of salvation, much of the focus of the 13th Sabbath offering for this quarter will be used in funding programs at schools in India.
This quarter, the 13th Sabbath Project Fund is designated for 4 major projects. 3 of them go to 3 boarding schools for additional classrooms. One project is mainly for church construction in a city, town, or nearby area where there is a need for a church building. Each union is assigned one such church. Since the division has 7 unions, it will be 7 churches. Plus we have one attached field, which is Nepal.
Nepal, India's division neighbor, will also receive funding for one church project.
One school that you will be visiting is Lasalgam Boarding School. Is located in Maharashtra. It is one of the oldest boarding schools that we have in that union. A number of our current leaders have gone through that school, and so this school has played a very important role in training workers for the church at large, basically in Western India Union.
One 13th Sabbath offering allotment in Southern Asia Division will go toward Lasalgam, one of the 3 schools in the division to receive funding.
They plan to build about 36 classrooms. Currently, they are meeting in a very dilapidated building which was built several decades ago. They would like to build a new building, 36 classrooms. Kotarakara School is also a very prominent boarding school we have in Southwest India Union. I can say that this school also has served equally well in terms of training workers that are serving in Southwest India Union.
During this quarter, you will learn how the administration, faculty, and students of the Kotarakara School took a stand for the Sabbath and the blessing that was for them. You'll witness the faithfulness of a congregation who must keep rebuilding their mud brick church structure because the seasonal rains wash it away. You will see the faces of children and adults who don't know there is a Creator God who died to save them and give them a better life. The 13th Sabbath Mission Offering is your opportunity to be a missionary in the lands of the Southern Asia Division. You don't need a passport, an airline ticket, or any special training to take the story of Jesus to this region where idol worship and ritualistic practices abound. All you need to do is plan now to give abundantly what God has provided to you. How will you be a part of the mission of the Southern Asia Division on Sabbath, March 26? Reporting from the Southern Asia Division, this is Mission SONlight.